So we have just been to Kilnsea, about a mile north from the Spurn Peninsula, and I'm sorry my voice sounds so excited. It's like we're at Spurn finally after all those days we've been wanting to go to Spurn. Years we've been wanting to go to Spurn. We're finally here, and there's supposed to be like 4 hides here, and we didn't visit all of them, but we saw enough birds to keep me happy. So this is Spurn, so it's like, I think the closest place, even though it's on the other side, is Grimsby. This sounds weird if I say it's like this. The closest place that a lot of people would know to here is Grimsby, and from here to Grimsby is an hour and a half drive. I know that doesn't really make sense, but it's because the Spurn Peninsula almost touches Lincolnshire. It's like this tiny little bit of water, about a mile of water, that separates Lincolnshire. Do you see that big long peninsula? That's what I'm talking about. It's just sand, and you got water on either side. You got the Humber Estuary on one side, and then you got the sea on the other side, and it's the water. It's quite cold, although I am feeling quite warm today. But it's pretty epic. Spurn. It's a pleasure to be here. So we're starting off the day by the Canal Hide, and then apparently is from the Seawatch Hide. Apparently there's some roseate terns, some turtle doves somewhere here. Also, there's meant to be a yellow-browed warbler somewhere here. Some spoonbill. We didn't see the spoonbill though. But there's meant to be lots of rarities about. So we'll just have a little look. What's about? I did see a garden warbler today. Unfortunately, I didn't get the camera on it. And also I saw a spotted flycatcher, and that I also didn't get the camera on it, so that's really sad. Well, despite all my moaning about, oh, I didn't get this on camera, I am so excited to be here, because I feel really bad for not getting both of them on camera. Just like perch on a wire and they just go. It's like, you see there's like telegraph wire goes all the way down, right the way down. So car parks on one side of the road, visitor centre, it's called the Discovery Centre, is on the other side. So it's got a toilet, it's got a cafe, it's got a shop, all you need. Pretty big visitor centre actually. And those bricks at the bottom are meant to be good places for insects apparently to live. Special rocks or bricks, can't remember what they're called, but they're very interesting. So this is on the second. Everything like the cafes and the shops are all on the second level. Toilets are on the first. So you get a good view of the Canal, and then the hide's just there. So that's what you can see from the cafe. Got a good view of that. I can see a little eagle as well. So I'll take better films of that later. So we're gonna check out these hides. So I'm guessing this is like the staff car park or something, and then we're gonna go over to the Canal Hide. So here we go. Lots of signs here, owned by the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, or commonly known as the YWT. Here's the hide. Not a particularly good-looking hide, but I'm happy with the hide. It's a pretty good hide actually. It's better than you think. It's a couple of people in it, and this swallow is only like 50 centimeters away from us. Look, literally, it's just on that post. Yeah, it's apparently there's a nest in the hide, the man said. Well, that's what I didn't hear him say it because he's got a strong Yorkshire accent. I was like, okay, just like acknowledging him, even though I didn't know what he said. But then later I looked up and I realised, yeah, there is a nest in the hide. But little egret, better views of that. Also coot and little grebe. Surprising, you could just have the pond like this inland, and you just get a couple of coot and a moorhen. But by the coast, you get everything. Look at this swallow. It's literally just like, it's not afraid. And there's the nest. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yes, that's the closest I've ever got to a swallow, and they've got beautiful colours. So after the Seawatch Hide, maybe film some roseate terns and bonkseas or great skuas or whatever else has been reported there. Great northern divers as well. So this is the view right next to the hide. So here's the hide, the Seawatch Hide, and it looks over the North Sea. I don't think I've ever typed that before. Hide looked over the North Sea. That's very cool. So you can see the windmills. I didn't mean that. In the water. Here you got Whitethroat, and we're back at the shop. There's no birds there. What a disappointment. Spurn's quite quiet today. Wood pigeons. This is again at the Canal Scrape, but viewing from the cafe. It's not a lot about today, but a lot about. There's quite a lot about to do with swallows. Yeah, swallows are always about. And I didn't notice that my grandma's going everywhere. I didn't notice that these sparrows were actually in just these tiny little nest boxes. They really are a haven for wildlife, this place. We've got some whitethroat and linnet. So great to see some linnet here as well. I saw some yesterday. I thought this was the film with the garden warbler. It's only a dunnock. I did see a garden warbler. Trust me, I'm not lying. I know my bird identification. So we're now going to head up to... We're just going to go on the beach. My finger's in the way of the lens. And you can see we've got wellies on. It's way easier with sand if you're wearing wellies, to be honest. So here we are. And this little bird, there's hardly any bird. This is the only bird we saw today on the sand, and it's a ringed plover. It's well worth it. I always say that little ringed plover. It's small, but it's a ringed plover. But then I realised, a little ringed plover is another species of birds, and I was like, oh, it's a small ringed plover. It's really quite cute, isn't it? Ringed plover. Can't resist taking all the photos. It's literally only a couple of meters away from us, so it's good for getting good views of birds. But literally, that's the only bird we saw out here. I mean, there was a whitethroat and a linnet out in the brambles closer to the lighthouse, but it's really not much about today. Spurn, I understand some days you can have quiet days. I don't diss Spurn, but I think Spurn's a great place. But you know, sometimes you get quiet days, and I've experienced that way before, especially in December. That wasn't a good time. I won't tell you about the Brandon Marsh visit in December, no. Alright, so we've got, this is like the high tide shelter. Like, if you ever feel scared, you can go up there, and then this got so much, like, I went in, it's like, oh, it's like lots of graffiti and litter in there, like Fanta bottles as well. We've got another whitethroat in the brambles. This is a linnet. But that's really all from today. There's really not much about. But as I said, I ain't dissing Spurn, but it's just some days are like this, and you just got to accept that. Okay, yes, that's enough of whitethroats. Now we're gonna head back home, which is about 2.5 hour drive. It's crazy, but we've had a good day here anyway, and I will see you on Sunday, the 12th of June, at Hicks Lodge.